All right, here we go. Let me open up my volume mixer so we can hear that lovely brawl music. Hello. My name is David Kutchik. Oop, that mic level's kind of loud on my end. I am a graduate student here at UW Milwaukee, and I may or may not have a friend coming. We'll see. We'll see in a little bit. So welcome, everyone. Here, let me pull this down. Gosh, this is getting pretty loud. Okay, let's try that instead. Welcome to Fan Game Follies, a series dedicated to all things modding, fan labor, all that good stuff that we love, that we know and love. So today we're going to be exploring some Project M, which is a very, very, very famous mod for Super Smash Bros. Brawl. I'm just posting to Discord so people will show up. So thank you to the 2 viewers who are already here. So that is there. There we go. Okay. So again, my name is David Kutchik, I'm a PhD student here at UW Milwaukee. First thing we're going to do before we get started is read our land acknowledgement. So we acknowledge that in Milwaukee we live and work on traditional Potawatomi, Ho-Chunk, and Menominee homelands along the southwest shores of Michigami, part of North America's largest system of freshwater lakes where the Milwaukee, Menominee, and Kinnickinnic rivers meet, and the people of the Wisconsin sovereign Anishinaabe, Ho-Chunk, Menominee, Oneida, and Mohican nations remain present. Yeah. So let's get into some Smash Bros. I think I'm actually going to adjust my camera quick, so you'll get to see me do some work in the background. First of all, we're going to move this up over the overlay. And then, yeah. You know what, we're just going to do that, and it's going to be a little messy, but you know what? Life is messy. You know, life is hard. All right, so we're going to get into some Smash Brothers Brawl. Project M. So I have not unlocked anything in Project M. Here, let me see if that audio level is okay. Let's bring it down a little bit so it's not too loud or distracting for you guys. But yeah, like I was saying, I haven't really played any Project M before. So this should be kind of interesting. Hopefully I can unlock some characters. But let's just try doing a normal run through and see me fail epically. Oops. See me fail pretty poorly at some of these games. Now, Project M, how it works is you basically don't have any... You have all of the new characters right away, but you don't have any of... Or you have all of the Brawl characters right away, but you don't have any of the new modded characters, basically. So in order to get the mod characters, you have to, you know, do some special things. So let's try, you know, we're going to try easy, because I'm just feeling like easy, breezy, that kind of stuff today. Yeah, so let's just play some of this. Oops, not what I wanted. Not what I wanted at all. We want easy. And I believe if I finish this, I get supersonic, which is always fun. So something weird. Oop, not what I want. I haven't played Brawl in so long, so this is going to be a bit strange. But we'll see what happens. Something that I'm like interested in when it comes to Smash Brothers that is just strange is like how everything is so... There's such a love for games in it, obviously. But it just seems so strange that like when I was a young kid, 20 years ago, when I was a kid, like you would just never think to experience any of this, right? Like historically, it just doesn't seem to make sense, right? Or it doesn't seem like it would work. And so something that I'm interested in exploring in some of my work, specifically about Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, is like, why is this something in the historical moment that's like so popular or such a big thing that it spawned 5 sequels, right? Especially when you have collaborations between companies that were so diametrically opposed to one another in a previous life. You know, the whole like Mario versus Sonic and all that stuff, right? And then 15 years later, all of a sudden Mario and Sonic are literally like trading blows in a video game. I'm so good at this game. But it also makes sense when you think about like the Marvel Cinematic Universe, right, and other crossover franchise kind of things. It makes sense that you know, video games would also do the same. It's also weird playing different games in a franchise, because, like, I just... getting used to Brawl again after playing Smash Ultimate for so long is just weird. But, you know what? I'm not doing too bad. And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, Project M takes some of the melee. Like, it makes it a bit quicker. Because Brawl is notoriously heavy to control. Alright, let's try King TDD. Again, I'm just doing the easy because I want to unlock characters. Like, that's the main goal of today's show, is to unlock some characters, so then next week, or you know, whenever I play Project M again, I'll actually have some of the new characters. There we go. Come on, Guild Wars. Ooh, and Suicune. Thank you. Okay, here we go. Yes, if anybody's expecting a professional stream, I sincerely apologize, because that's not happening today or probably ever. Aw, man. Okay. Oh, wow. I'm, like, being destroyed right now. Okay. In case you couldn't tell, I'm not good at Smash Bros. Alright, let's try. I'm telling you guys, I'm not good at games. I'm just not good. I thought I heard somebody in the background, but unfortunately no. Alright, let's try this. Fox and Falco. I believe if I finish this whole thing with Sonic, I can unlock Super Sonic. Got some rendering delays, but you know what? That is okay for a mod. I wonder if there's been like an oral history, and maybe this is something the audience will know. If there's been like a history, or if somebody has written about the production of this, because I feel like it's been so long in the making, right? It's been developed for the past 10 years. Yeah. We have the bleed of the cheers, which we love. It's always interesting we can see the cracks in something, right? Ooh. This is from Super Mario Odyssey. Nice. Oh wait, no, this is from or is this from, yeah, it's from Sunshine, isn't it? The special levels in Sunshine. Okay, rude that she's taunting me. I don't like this mod anymore. Okay, take two. Let's see if I can do it. There we go. Here we go. Ready, go. It's so weird being back in this, like, this mode. It's just takes me back. It's all coming back to me now, as Celine Dion would say. And yes, in case you notice, I have not had enough coffee today. I don't think my weary bones can you know, take this mortal coil anymore. I think it's about time to shuffle off. I like how it's just me and no one's watching. I love it. I love... It's so intimate. It's just us, right? It's just us. That's all it is. So sorry if anybody was expecting quality content. That's just never gonna happen. That's just never gonna happen. And you know what? It's okay. It doesn't have to happen. Alright, let's keep going. Here we go. Metal Wario. Ouch. Alright. Works for me. Don't mind if I didgeridoo. Alright, here we go. Ouch. There we go. Target practice is complete. I think it's now... Oh yeah, I forget. It's so long. There's like 14 stages or something. Oh gosh. Here we go. Oh, we've got a visitor. Whoa. Hello. Here, I'm gonna do some adjusting. I unfortunately could not get this set up on the big screen in time.
Oh no?
Because I'm modding it, and so like downloading the mods and then getting the files uploaded and ready to go on that computer just is not. Was not working with me today.
Cool.
Here, I'll put my mask on so nobody can. So Thomas can't yell at us afterwards.
He doesn't yell.
I know.
Speaks sternly.
Speak sternly, so we won't get scolded. Let's just say that. Let's see if you... Oop. Oh, that's a problem, mine.
Can this stretch up there?
Yes, it can. I think so.
Just pop the webcam on the telly.
Let's do it. Sorry, this is a bit of ramshackle.
I'm actually going to take my mask off to drink some water.
Go for it. It's important to stay hydrated. I'm glad we have... there we go. Look at that. It's beautiful.
Perfect.
Good enough. So, I'm playing some Project M today. Oh gosh, you can barely see me. That's okay. Here, let me do a little more adjusting. In case you can't tell,
You've got all this cable left. Bit of a mess today.
Yes. Bit of a mess.
Be your best hot mess Monday.
Yeah, so I'm playing Project M. Have you ever played Smash Brothers before? Or are you a big Smash Brothers person?
No, I kind of I watch other hipsters play Smash Bros at parties.
Is Smash Bros a hipster thing in Scotland?
No, it's just the only parties I've seen that played it are ones in Glasgow.
So we're playing today. We're playing something called Project M, which is a mod. It's like probably one of the most like I don't want to say it's probably the most famous mod out there, honestly.
Smash Bros mod.
Yeah, and so
clearly it gets the Sega characters. Is that right?
Yes. Well, Sonic is in the original. So how it works is.
Okay.
It's a mod of Super Smash Bros. Brawl, which is the third one on the Wii. And it actually was first developed to be downloaded onto the Wii itself. And so basically
Yeah.
what came first before you could start doing it on emulator, it was on the Wii. So it's one of the few mods where like it was previously developed for the system itself, because Wii was the first one that let you do downloads to the internet. Right, it was the first one that connected to the internet for Nintendo.
The Wii broke a lot of new ground.
It did. It did.
Nintendogs, Meatball, Wii News.
Yeah, and so I wanted to play this because it's like the most famous mod ever, but I've just never played it before.
All right.
So how it works is it unlocks. So usually in a Smash Brothers game, you have to unlock characters. You only get 32 at the start. And you have to unlock 14 more or whatever.
Yeah.
This time around, you unlock the characters. There's new modded characters. So there's characters like, there's people have added Toad, people have added Supersonic, all these modded characters who don't exist in the original game. And you actually start out with all the characters in the game, but you have to unlock these modded characters.
Okay.
And yeah, that's what I'm doing right now. I'm doing my first playthrough with Sonic.
Well, before you do that, Gunigo, just let me save the day.
Yes, Matthew's here to save me. Because I'm...
HDMI. This side.
Yes, right here.
Plug it in. Get it up. There we go.
There we go. Look at that.
Amazing.
Look at that. All right, I'm going to... This is currently... I wonder if I could just throw this guy... it might mess up my camera. Whatever.
What's that?
We'll just play.
Yeah, let's just play the game.
Let's just play. Let's do it. Yeah. Oh, that's gonna get on the mic, isn't it?
What's going on the mic?
This the TV sound.
Is it?
It might.
It didn't last time.
All right, then we won't worry about it. And I'm playing on the very easy mode because I haven't played Super Smash Bros. Brawl in forever.
You want to take turns about?
Sure.
Good.
I think this is my last stage, so I'll just finish this up and then
Don't
we'll
mind.
hand it over to you.
I'm actually I'm shit at video games.
That's why you do the Excel stuff.
Yeah, it's a way to sort of wrap myself up in layers of pretension.
You're good at the admin work, but not necessarily the... Okay.
I'm also a good listener, I think. That's what makes me a good dungeon master.
I try to be a good listener, but...
I know how to listen to someone talk and then ask the right question to make them, like, go, ooh.
So what... This apparently... It froze or whatever.
Old game, modded to hell.
Yeah.
What
can you do? Let's try something. We are going to... We're going to just close this. It's going to mess up all with our stream, but that is okay. We're just going to restart. And we're going to have you play some.
All right.
Okay, let's just make sure that this is back on our... Oh, no, it is not. Let's get that window capture corrected, and then we'll get you started.
Good.
Something that I'm going to be writing about for one of my classes
Cool.
is Derrida has this concept of archive fever, which people have talked to, mapped particularly to like neoliberalism. And something that interests me about Smash Bros. Is how it's like kind of an archive, but it's an archive of characters, particularly like through their like gamification, right, or through their. So like, it's not that Fox had all of these moves when he was a prime star in the 90s, right? But they've added moves to him and made him playable,
right?
But it's also, so like you have like this weird archiving thing where you've archived characters.
So they have to be legible to the archive.
Yes. Right? Yeah, but it's also like in the logics of the neoliberal like crossover event, right? Where like all of your favorite, all of your favorite IPs, whether it's Marvel or video games or whatever, right? All have this crossover thing where the archive isn't there to archive it, but it's there for you to play with and to engage with. So it's all these weird things, and I kind of want to talk about it in my media historiography class because I think that's exciting. But I don't have very many full-fledged thoughts about it, so I thought playing a game might help.
Play through the ideas.
Yes. So you get to choose whatever character you want.
All right. Okay.
So the A button is X there, and then the B button is down there, like it is for the GameCube.
It's switched. Okay.
Yeah.
So I was always Yoshi in Mario Kart. Don't know why.
Go for it.
Because I was player 4, I guess.
And so these two, the B and the Y here, those are the jump buttons.
Jump buttons.
Yep.
Yeah.
A is your basic attack, and then B is your special attack.
It's basic.
Yes, it's basic.
Okay, and how do I start again?
With the start button.
Right. Ready to fight. And then I get to choose?
Yep. And so a lot of these are actually custom stages that people have made,
But
some of them are not.
they're all within, what, a metaverse of some kind?
Yes. Yep. So they're all legible to the typical Super Smash Brothers format, right? They don't. All these stages are meant to be completed or fought in as a normal stage, but some of them draw from franchises or games that aren't maybe represented in the series. Sorry, the A button is on the left.
Oh, I see. I keep hitting back.
Mm-hmm.
No, you did tell me that.
Yeah, because we're emulating it like it was on the GameCube.
Mm-hmm.
The GameCube had the big A button and the small B button.
I never had the GameCube.
I've had every single Nintendo system except for the NES. So I'm a Nintendo nerd. Like, I am the representative for Nintendo in serious play.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, wait, what?
Okay, what? I'm this is a... Wait, which am I?
You're
I'm not-
Yoshi. Are you not playing?
It says CPU.
Oh, weird. We're watching some CPUs fight right now.
This is
Computer
actually
player
exactly my Smash Bros. Experience.
units. Watching other
party.
people play.
Well, and even when somebody gave me the controller, I play for 30 seconds and somebody would be like, "Give me that!" You know? You clearly don't know what you're doing.
Isn't this weird, though? Alright, so, like, it's weird in a game to, like, give players the option to watch just a bunch of characters fight.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like. Like, I bet... Obviously, it's not the same as a Mortal Kombat, but I don't think in Mortal Kombat or Tekken or other games like that, you can, like, watch two computer players fight each other.
Yeah. I mean, also just like, this is just, in a way, I find it kind of disgusting. You know, just the sheer visual gluttony of the whole
Yes.
thing.
It's very dense.
And in that way, the overconsumption, that comes into your neoliberalism vibe.
Mm-hmm.
Because one of the things about Pokemon Go I found was the shift from a kind of a modernist construction of a player within Pokemon Ruby and older Pokemon games, where you have a person who's in a world and has to navigate that world as a character, right, in order to do stuff or whatever. Pokemon Go, as one paper argued, one very incisive paper, was it was a wholesale shift into just sort of like a baseless or a pointless cycle between consuming, moving, pointing, consuming.
Mm.
There was no Professor Oak in Pokemon Go.
Mm-hmm.
There was no quest giver. There was no signposts. It was just much like this, It was just a constant cycle of baseless gameplay, which actually anticipates a social element,
Yes.
but never really defines it.
Mm.
And actually, that was quite dangerous in Pokemon Go because they were completely not ready, or maybe they just didn't care, which is a thing you find with programmers.
Oh, yeah, obviously.
For the emergent social content, that their game would create when it interacted with communities of players.
Mm.
How does this game interact with communities of players? How does it construct those interactions, or even construct those players?
Yeah.
Right, have I lost, or I wasn't even playing?
Yes, yeah. None of us were playing.
Let's,
I posted...
look!
Oh, that's why. I posted our stream in the Project Discord server. So if anybody from there is watching, they're probably just like, what are these guys even doing?
What's Project M?
This mod is called Project M.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
Yeah.
The thing is that it's like last. I have no idea what's going on with games. Is that, I don't know if that makes me suitable for scholarship or inappropriate for me to.
I don't think I told one of my professors that I wanted to study like the nationhood and how like is enacted.
How do I attack? Oh, here we go.
Yep. Yep.
Why is the guy not moving?
You have to move. You have to move the control stick.
Oh, I'm getting absolutely beat up to hell here.
But I said I wanted to study Japanese games, and one of my professors was like, "Well, you'll have to learn Japanese." And I'm like, probably, but also I don't want to. I have enough on my plate right now.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't think you have to be good at games to study them. Just like you don't have to be like a speed reader to understand literature, right?
I mean, it's sort of, I hate to say this, it's not actually about games.
Well, of course.
It's never actually about the game.
No, of course not.
Unless, you know, you're unless it is, you know. But for me, it's about, I don't know. I don't actually know what it's about, David. I claim to. I can frame it. I'm being absolutely rocketed off here.
You're technically in first place right now.
What? I got 181% health.
Mm-hmm.
How does that happen?
Because you got beat up a bunch.
Oh.
And so as the number goes further, you can get launched more. Basically, like the launch calculation depends both on the attack that you're attacked with and then also the percentage that you have.
The one thing about Smash Bros. Is it recreates, because of just the genre, right? It recreates that sort of hectic hackticity of the arcade, you know?
Yes.
Where you have two buttons, but 168 possible moves, and you've got absolutely no idea, well, I've got no idea, how to make any of it work.
So when you fall off stage, in order to recover, it's up B.
Up B, okay.
Yeah.
I hate these little guys. They don't seem like appropriate characters.
Game & Watch. So Game & Watch was like one of the original like things that Nintendo made before the NES, I believe. And Rob, this little robot guy, is an accessory for the NES. That was actually the robot. He looked exactly like that. See, and that's why it means like, especially when you get into Ultimate, which is the latest one, you get this weird engagement with history where in the first three games especially, it's more so just Nintendo history. But then like when you get into Smash Ultimate and where you finally start getting like many players and characters from outside Nintendo, you have this construction of history about who is an important character and who should be included in like the game that is about game history.
Right, the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Yeah, exactly. And it's like, I don't... And there's this interesting map game where, like, it's this map that you play across. It's basically like playing across a map of video game history. And it's just strange. I don't know how to feel about it. Not that I'm not... Ooh, look at that. She's evil.
Well, you can change the outfit.
Yeah, you can change the skins. Let's try it. Sorry if this is not enthralling to you.
No, I'm enthralled. It's a cynical enthrallment.
Oh, I just did the same thing you did. It's the thing is, it's so fun. Like, I'm supposed to criticize everything, but it's so fun. I like it so much.
You mean this game?
Yeah, or like Smash Brothers in general.
Oh, I see.
There's so much going on, but it's kind of like the randomness and the chance of it. I think is something that I find to be very entertaining, and it's very fun when you play with other people or play against other people. Right? Is like there's so much going on. Is that there's so many possibilities for different combinations of events to occur. Where like one character could, or one player could, launch a character into one of your attacks that then launches them off the screen, right? And you get all these minute interactions that occur, second by, like, every second that, I don't know, there's a lot of novelty in it, I guess, where the replayability is very high because you get so many possibilities for combinations of encounters.
You know, when Ian Bogost was saying that video games are a mess,
Yes.
he was talking exactly like this.
Yes. And of course, like, modding it, you know, from the Wii to the computer also makes it even messier. But, but video games are a mess. Of all kinds. Emotional, mental, physical, all of the above.
From a video game.
Yeah, well... Yes, my weekend was spent writing 2,000 words for a paper and then grading 40 essays. So, that,
Fucking hell.
yeah. That was, my weekend is... Sometimes when you do all that, you just need to beat up some of your most beloved characters of all time.
Yeah, for
Instead
sure.
of flying off the screen.
For sure.
Isn't it, again, it's just a weird thing. It's like, I love all these characters, so I'm gonna beat them and, like, defeat them. Like, I don't know. It's just, it's interesting, like, who, I don't know what I'm trying to say. It's a Monday morning.
But
And
there's
I've only had one cup of
also
coffee.
the kind of the collectibles fetish involved as well.
Oh my gosh, well, if you want to talk about collectibles. So, in this game, it kind of changes what you can collect every game, but in Melee and Brawl, you can collect trophies, both of the characters you can play, and then also of characters from within these game series that are represented, but you can't play as. So, like, you can play as Ivysaur, but you can collect trophies of, like, a bunch of different Pokemon.
Oh, I see.
Right, or you can play as Solid Snake, but then it'll be like, you can get the trophy for Solidus Snake, you know, who's different. So, that, and then in this game, you also get stickers that you can collect as well. Oh, wait, no, that's an alternate. In this game, you can collect music as well. So, like, randomly in the middle of a fight, a music CD will just, like, randomly fall sometimes. And if you collect it, then it's a new song that you can collect that you can then play on certain stages as, like, background music.
Right.
So, that's, you know, that's another layer of it, is, like, just the literal archive of it. Of, like, you have all of these trophies and all of these songs and all of these stickers that you can collect.
But when does an archive become like a market, or you know, where it's like in a typical video game, right? You just got the music, and somebody's actually paired the music with a certain moment in a cinematic sense, a narrative or aesthetic sense, and yet the absolute bricolage of it all. You know,
the bricolage of a... Yeah, well, honestly, I think that maps pretty well with what museums do. Or if you want to think of, like, world-renowned museums like the MoMA, for example, right? That is that not, like, a curated experience of, like, collection where you pay to feel like you have some kind of cultural capital to be able to consume these things?
Yeah, that's right, but it's still diegetic in a sense. There's a way in which you walk through a museum. Exhibits are curated. Exactly. Is this? I mean, archives aren't curated. They're
amassed.
They're directories.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, they're amassed and they're organized, not arbitrarily, but definitely ambivalently, you know, alphabetically or otherwise. And then, but this is just sort of like, you know, taking such a basic mesh, right, of a game, right, a battle game.
Do you want to play?
I don't know.
Okay. That is fine.
Taking, like, just the absolute basic mesh of a fighting game, like Mortal Kombat or Street Fighter or whatever.
Yeah.
And just, like, breaking it down into... I mean, the thing is, right, is this is what's interesting about it, right, is the rhetorical promise of infinite alternativity, but only within very strict forms, right? You say you're allowed to play every character, but like you say, their abilities don't translate completely in from their home game, right?
Yeah, because they have to fit in this.
They have to fit into it. So this is the neoliberal part of it, right? Is that you have, 1,000 maps, right? But they're all a fucking platform with two smaller platforms. You know?
Yeah.
Or you can play any character, but you've all got like a jump, an attack, you know, move and then combinations therein, right? like you said, the music, right, becomes another, and this is it, right? It's like somebody was like thinking like, how can we, it's like when neoliberalism finds another frontier, right, to turn into a market. It's like the music becomes another distinct, right, and heterogeneous, right, a function of the game that can be broken up into infinite ways. It's like, why should, it's like, wait, what if the person can choose what music is being played, right?
Mm-hmm.
But you can only choose a track that plays, during the game or whatever, right?
Yeah.
So it's like, with the simultaneously with the promise of being able to be anyone, fight anywhere, and listen to anything, right? You're being given a choice over exactly 3 things.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's
Yeah, and I think as the series expands, the ability to choose things, right, and to customize and to choose who you want becomes even more important when you have like 76 characters you can choose from, right? And then you get the DLC too, which adds 12 more characters. It then becomes like choice becomes the part of the articulation of how you consume the game, right?
It reminds
is the
me
choice.
it reminds me of like when they bring out civilization mobs or civilization expansions with new leaders, or just whenever they introduce new sort of builds or plays into, like with Company of Heroes, it was when they brought in the Brits in the expansion pack. It's like, because the original Company of Heroes, which is a World War II RTS, right, was perfectly balanced game between an American faction and a German faction. And RTSs are very specific. So you see the same thing happening with Age of Empires 2 in this reboot just now, right? They're bringing in tons of new stuff, but it's like, is it necessarily balanced? Or is it just shameless sort of creation of new consumables? You know? And it's like, once you've got the basic thing down, you can just ad infinitum recreate different iterations on it, right? So it just becomes iterations on a theme, ad nauseum. Not even ad infinitum.
Yeah.
Ad nauseum. I'm nauseous by it.
Yeah, and what's interesting, speaking of like balancing, right? The Smash community has had to develop tier lists because there are characters that like are just like, when you get to the competitive setting, there are characters that perform better in certain settings, right? Like,
like Dota 2
yeah,
as well, right?
You get tier lists, right? And so then your choices are, ironically, are kind of saddled even more because the balancing is so kind of off the mark that you really can only play the A+ characters if you want to succeed in like a competitive gaming environment.
So then you have this tension between two forces, right? You have everything in the game that maintains a balanced and fair competition in which the only thing that should shine through is the player's skill, versus this sort of half neoliberal, half self-expressionist desire or compulsion, right? To basically create more and more, but as much as you can, but always within these narrow definitions of, what even keeps it being the game, and when to go back to your notion of the neoliberal archive, it is this idea that the archive continues to amass materials, objects, and information, but the way in which it is stored sort of narrows or prescribes the ways in which we can encounter those things.
It's like not curated, but it's limited.
It's not curated. It's, well, how would you... It's this... Foucault would call it a double bind of discourse, right? Where simultaneously, whilst one thing is happening, the exact opposite is occurring.
Yes.
Right? Yeah. So you'd say at the very moment that we're allowed to be anything, there's a double bind of discourse where the exact opposite is occurring, and we've never been more constrained.
Yeah.
And this is what Smash Bros. Is about, in my opinion.
Yeah, and I'm trying to think if there's other games. I'm gonna try.
Whereas, you know what?
Let's do a classic.
You know where the exact opposite was the case? Wii Sports.
How do you mean?
Because in Wii Sports, what was continuous was your meeple.
Yeah.
But what changed was the games that you could play, right?
Mm-hmm.
So they would just add more and more games. And also, what's the other one? There's that one where it's like a Wario puzzle game.
Oh yeah, WarioWare Smooth Moves.
Well, yeah. So I don't know if that's the one. That's probably one of the family that I'm familiar with. But it's this game where so like every 10 seconds a new random game will come up, and you just have to respond to it.
Yeah.
You see, rather than where there's set games with, so you have two distinct sort of things going on there, you know? On the one hand, you have the promise of infinitely variable games that you can play, where your character is continuous, right? It is tied to your user account on the game console, versus a Smash Bros. Kind of thing, where basically all this stuff that I just spent 20 minutes talking about.
So it's like, rather than the player staying the same and the game changing, it's the game stays the same, the player changes.
Yeah.
Or assumes a different
so if these are two things, what are they of a common sort, you know? Not just games, but expressions of expressions of a certain kind of, I don't know, like a genre or something, or...
Yeah, I'm not sure. It is interesting that, I mean, like, in what game can you play as Sonic and Mario? And, you know, like, if you play a Sonic game or you play a Mario game, you can only play as a couple of characters within them. Then there is something interesting about being able to play a game that crosses not only, like, genre, I mean, it crosses genre, it crosses medium, it crosses, like, it just crosses all of these historical boundaries. And that's why I was kind of thinking about the archive, because it crosses so many historical, you know, like Rob is only something that existed in the 1980s, and like as an accessory to the Nintendo Entertainment System, but you can play as him, whereas you can also play as like characters from like 2020. I don't know, it's this weird thing where you're able to embody so many different parts of Nintendo and video game history. And the promise of being able to embody those things, I think, is the appeal of the game, where you're able to embody the history.
But that's also the promise of, like you say again, sort of neoliberalism, or dare I say technoliberalism?
Yeah.
You know, where it's like the promise to inhabit any mode of your memory or desire unproblematically. And maybe that's okay, I don't know. Or actually, but then there's always an inherent danger in the erasure of history like that.
Yeah.
What is going on?
So I'm playing against a team, and because they're like a team, they're all like really easy to knock back. So I just have to do like, and because it's also easy mode. So like, I just have to hit them with like one move and they basically go away.
This background is making me feel dizzy.
Oh yeah, this too.
What game's that from?
Kirby.
Kirby?
Kirby, and that's like the Meta Knight's ship flying in the background. See, you know what's really sad? Even more so than all of the good commentary we're talking about. The saddest thing is I can probably explain everything that's going on in this game, and that makes me feel so bad about myself.
Nah.
I've internalized all of this.
Also, one thing we could talk about is this sort of how it's sort of like a formula for novelty.
How do you mean?
Like when you have so many different combinatorics, right? Every time you're actually experiencing this, it's supposedly a novel scenario where these characters with this music, with this map, have never been put together in this combination before. And so, you know, there's a sort of a promise of novelty, and you know, what does novelty do to us in terms of
You're talking about how novelty is bad, and then I'm like, the big fox just got blown up by a bunch of bombs. I'm like basically proving your point. It's meta commentary.
Yeah, of course, and it's this whole thing about the ways in which our brains are wired towards novelty.
Yeah.
And how games take advantage of that in the way that they are compelling to us. Like one of the biggest things I think that makes this game compelling is its an inherent novelty that you're never like even Mario Kart, the same courses get boring after a while, you know.
Yeah.
But it's sort of this. But then, you know, it's you know, it's like this is the neoliberal problem. What happens when you get bored of infinite novelty? Where do you go from there? Because you realize that you're trapped within these even stricter constraints, right? It's my belly rumbling.
You can support a Scott for $1 a day.
Yeah. I reject all other identities now. I had to fill in a survey with gender, race, everything, and I put you can self-identify.
And you just put Scott for all of them.
I just put Scottish for every single one of them. You know, why not?
Yeah.
It was Foucault again who said that the most radical thing you can be is nothing.
I mean, especially because I've read a lot of neoliberal feminism stuff for class today. It's on my mind, but especially now, like just being like, I'm not any of these categories in a society where I have to, where the only freedom I get is by being associated with these categories. That is a pretty radical thing, I think.
But then are we not just? But then would the inherent critique of our position not be that, you know, these categories inherently are meaningless to us since we inhabit the most powerful category in society, which is white cis man.
Yeah.
So we will never really understand its empowering nature, right? Or the capital it gives us, because we don't need it, or we don't distinguish.
Yeah. Well, I think that's kind of.
Is that a spicy point?
No, it's a good point. I think, right, and this is the problem I think that I'm having with my research right now, is I'm trying to think, like, how am I conceptualizing how this is liberatory for the individual but negative for how a society is structured? Right? How is this both something that the individual can either affectively or economically benefit from, right? While also noting that how we structure and think about identity is inherently linked to neoliberal economics. I don't know how to balance that in my research.
Well, didn't you read Giddens with me?
Well, yeah, of course. Oh. I guess, yeah. Right, but I think I
mean, he doesn't answer the entire question, but he lays down a pretty good framework for understanding the reciprocal generative relationship between individuals and institutions, right?
Yeah.
So I don't know if there's much post-Giddens gender-based work.
I mean, Butler's was right around the time of Giddens. Right, and I think that helps a little bit. Yeah, it's like critiquing this. I don't know what. It's also a Monday. I'm just so tired.
Okay. Every day's a Monday.
Every day's a Monday. And we have our meeting today too.
Oh, fantastic! Yeah. I can't wait to have not enough time to talk about anything.
Yeah, I also have Damn it, this happened last time too, where I got to this stage and then it didn't. We'll let it run for a little bit and see what happens. I also have conferences with students this week, so I have conferences at 1:15 and 2:30 and 2:45.
Yeah.
So I'm just a busy bee today.
I gotta do a midterm this week. I don't have to take one. I have to orchestrate a midterm.
That'll be fun.
But that's not the only thing. That's the big thing I'm responsible for. Forget about my own education or well-being.
That's often what it is. All right, so however I've had this structured, for some reason does not want to let me reach the final section of the classic single player mode. So we're just gonna be playing a couple more games and then we're gonna be saying sayonara. Let's try that. Nope.
What are you doing after this? You want to go get some lunch?
I have a conference at 1:15.
Oh.
But I would after that.
No, too late. I'm
Too
hungry
late.
now.
I would if I could. Well, honestly, I could be back in time for it.
Back in time for what?
For my conference.
Oh, yeah.
So we have it at 1:15. If we go grab it right after.
Yeah, sure. We can do that.
Honestly, we can end early. Should we end early?
If we want to go get lunch.
I want to go get lunch, so we're going to end early. So thank you, the one viewer who's here. And yeah, we will see you later to talk more about capitalism.
Yeah, this is the one. This is the kind of weirdly Soviet theme tune, right?
Yeah.
Remember they did that whole thing where it's like people's heroes, you know?
Yeah, of course. Here's
no shame.
No, here's my plot twist. I recreate Battleship Potemkin, but just with the cinematics from Brawl. It's the Soviet montage in full swing.
That would undermine the logic. It has to be a Potemkin-based map. You need one main platform and two smaller platforms. So the whole Potemkin plot line has to be played out on this static stage. You can play with the effects in behind, like with the blob one before.
Yeah,
you know?
I could figure it out. That'll be my summer.
Let's do it.
All right. See you later.